Katy Perry floated through space for 11 minutes, but when she landed, the internet launched something way bigger. A chaotic, auto-tuned meme stitched together her robotic interviews, zero-gravity footage, and sarcastic YouTube comments. And it exploded. 10 million views in days. TikToks, remixes, fan edits, the whole internet was laughing. Not just at the space stunt, but at how fake, forced, and out of touch it all felt. But then, just like that, the meme vanished. No warning, no explanation, gone. Now people are asking, did Katy Perry's team step in? Was it legal pressure, damage control, or something more desperate? Because when a pop star's spaceflight turns into a viral joke, and that joke mysteriously disappears, it's not just a meme anymore. It's a power struggle. It's a cultural moment. And it might be the one thing her PR team didn't see coming. Let's break it all down. It all started with a joke. Not a mean-spirited takedown or a slick piece of commentary, but a messy, chaotic meme stitched together by a small creator with a sharp eye for irony. They took Katy Perry's overly polished Blue Origin interviews, where she spoke in sweeping generalities about the future of music, weightlessness, and being changed forever, and remixed them into something completely unhinged. Over a synth-heavy beat, her soundbites were auto-tuned to the point of parody. Her voice warped until she sounded more like an AI chatbot than a pop star. The visuals were even more bizarre. Clips of Katy floating stiffly in zero gravity were mashed with retro sci-fi film footage, cartoon aliens, and screenshots of sarcastic YouTube comments. One showed her face slowly zooming in with the caption, "When your label says this will save your career." Another cut between her floating and grainy black and white footage of women fainting in old movies. It was surreal, hilarious, and just a little bit sad, but that's what made it work. The video didn't feel cruel. It felt true. It mocked. Not Katy herself, but the absurdity of the moment. Here was a pop star being paraded as a symbol of progress, when all she did was strap into a billionaire's rocket for an 11-minute ride. It wasn't space exploration, it was marketing cosplay. And the meme nailed that disconnect. Viewers immediately latched onto it. They weren't just laughing, they were quoting it, remixing it, reacting to it. Some called it satirical perfection. Others said, "This is the most relevant Katy Perry has been in years." Reaction videos flooded TikTok, Reddit threads, dissected it like it was a cultural artifact. YouTubers turned it into commentary. The meme had gone from an inside joke to a viral wildfire, and then it hit a milestone that changed everything. 10 million views. But just as the internet crowned it one of the funniest roasts of celebrity culture in years, it vanished, completely scrubbed from YouTube without warning. One moment, the video was everywhere, topping Reddit, getting clipped into TikToks, even showing up in meme compilations on Instagram. And then, without warning, it was gone. Not made private, not unlisted, not even age-restricted. Deleted. Completely nuked from YouTube, like it had never existed. Viewers who had saved the link refreshed the page, only to be hit with the dreaded "this video is unavailable" screen. No explanation, no copyright notice, no strike visible on the creator's profile. The meme that had captured the internet's attention simply vanished, and with it, the comment section, the remix culture it inspired, and a huge chunk of the conversation. People were confused. Creators who had planned response videos suddenly had nothing to react to. Commenters on Reddit began theorizing immediately. Why would they delete something so harmless? One person asked. Unless it wasn't harmless? Another replied. The mood shifted. Fast. What had started as a joke now felt like something more serious, like someone wanted it erased and quickly. And then came the real red flag. The silence. The creator, who had been actively replying to comments, reposting remixes, and celebrating the video's virality just hours before, said nothing. No community post, no follow-up, no explanation. Their entire channel stayed up, but it went completely quiet. For an internet culture used to creators oversharing every thought, this kind of ghosting was almost unheard of. That silence became fuel. Without an official reason for the takedown, people filled in the gaps themselves. Was it a copyright claim? Did Katy Perry's team send a legal warning? Or was the creator just scared? The questions piled up. And the more people asked, the more the story spiraled. What made it so chilling wasn't the video's disappearance, it was how it disappeared. quietly, strategically, almost like it had been scrubbed before it could do real damage. It didn't take long for the internet to land on its prime suspect, Katy Perry's team. Theories started spreading across Reddit, Twitter, and even private Discord servers. Some users claimed they'd seen a now-deleted tweet from the creator that read, "When people with better lawyers start calling, you listen." Others pointed to a black screen Instagram story posted just before the takedown, with one word typed in white, "complicated," followed by a zipped mouth emoji. None of these posts were verified, but that didn't matter. The vibe was already set. The general consensus? Katy Perry's PR machine had seen the video and didn't find it funny. And honestly, if you've been paying attention to how her team handles public backlash, this theory tracks. This isn't the first time they've moved to squash a joke. Back in 2015, after her infamous Super Bowl halftime performance, a background dancer dressed as a shark accidentally became a viral icon. Left shark. Instead of embracing the chaos, Katy's legal team reportedly sent cease and desist letters to Etsy creators making Left Shark merch, handmade felt toys, t-shirts, memes. Then there was the Bon Appetit video disaster, a misguided, overly sexualized concept, with Migos that critics called tone-deaf, desperate, and budget Lady Gaga. Katy didn't take it well. She went on a defensive PR tour that included awkward live stream therapy marathons and interviews where she insisted people just didn't get it. Instead of pivoting with grace, she doubled down. Her team didn't lean into the meme, so when a viral parody mocked her space mission as corporate cringe, it's not hard to imagine that someone on her team might have panicked, especially once it crossed 10 million views. That's not just a viral video, that's a public relations threat. Whispers began to surface that Perry's legal advisors or managers had reached out to YouTube. Some speculated they didn't issue a formal takedown notice, but instead sent a strongly worded request that made their expectations very clear. The kind of pressure that doesn't make headlines, but gets results. And that's what made this story different. It wasn't just about one deleted meme, it was about what that deletion signaled. Fear, control, the desperate need to manage a narrative that was already slipping away. If Katy Perry's team thought removing the video would make the problem disappear, they underestimated the one thing that always makes censorship backfire: the internet. The moment the meme vanished, creators, fans, and casual observers united. Not just in confusion, but in outrage. Reaction videos popped up within hours. TikTokers dramatically reenacted the video's disappearance, pretending to sob over the funniest thing YouTube ever gave us. One creator stitched a clip of Katy floating in zero gravity with the caption, "She went to space but couldn't handle a joke on Earth." Twitter threads turned into full-blown investigations. People started posting screen recordings of the meme before it was deleted. Others began archiving every possible version of it, uploading clips to Dropbox, Google Drive, and obscure meme sites. Subreddits dedicated to YouTube commentary lit up with theories, evidence, and jokes about cease and desist letters written in Comic Sans. And then came the memes about the takedown itself. Katy's face was photoshopped onto spaceship dashboards, with countdown timers to legal action, captions like 10, 9, 8, until copyright strikes trended across Instagram. One post read, "They tried to delete a meme. Now the meme is deleting them." It was chaos, exactly the kind the internet thrives on. But what made it different this time was that the backlash wasn't mean-spirited. It wasn't driven by hate. It came from disappointment, the kind fans feel when someone they once rooted for just doesn't get it anymore. People weren't attacking Katy Perry as a person. They were attacking what she represents now: overly polished celebrity branding, media training that drains all authenticity, and a PR culture that still thinks you can control the narrative by silencing the punchline. And here's the irony. By trying to erase the meme, they made it immortal. The Streisand effect kicked in at full volume. The very act of deletion became the story. And in doing so, it amplified the original message even more. This wasn't just a viral clip that made people laugh. It hit a nerve, because beneath the auto-tune and AI edits, the meme revealed something Katy Perry's team likely never wanted fans to notice: just how far she's drifted from the version of herself they once adored. Remember early Katy? The goofy charm of "I Kissed a Girl," the candy-coated fantasy of Teenage Dream, the quirky persona that embraced chaos and internet weirdness before it was cool. She felt spontaneous, fun, relatable, even when dressed like a cupcake. But the Katy Perry in this meme, she was floating in a billionaire's rocket, reciting buzzwords with a fixed smile and a tone that felt more like a sales pitch than a statement. The contrast was jarring, and the meme made that contrast unavoidable. It didn't just poke fun at the Blue Origin stunt, it stripped it of all meaning. Every weightless twirl, every overly rehearsed quote about humanity and connection became punchlines. Every attempt at spiritual profundity became robotic, flattened by auto-tune and sarcasm. And the kicker? The video used only her own footage. No deepfakes, no voice impersonations, just content she willingly gave the world. Now reframed, reinterpreted, and weaponized by public opinion. What made the video dangerous wasn't its humor. It was its accuracy. People weren't laughing at her because they hated her. They were laughing because they saw through the act, because the image she was trying to sell no longer matched how people actually felt. And for a celebrity, especially one who built her brand on being in touch, that kind of realization stings more than any scandal ever could. The meme didn't feel like a cyberbullying attack, it felt like an awakening. A reminder that fans don't just buy what you're selling, they see the cracks. And sometimes, all it takes is one meme to expose the disconnect. So, how did a meme that was clearly satire, that didn't use any copyrighted music or malicious editing, just vanish from one of the biggest platforms on Earth? The answer lies in the difference between what's legal and what's risky. Legally, parody is protected in the US, especially when it targets public figures using publicly available media. The video didn't sample Katy's songs. It didn't misrepresent her with deep fakes or altered quotes. It was a remix of interviews and promotional clips, transformed through commentary and satire, textbook fair use. But YouTube doesn't operate like a courtroom. It operates like a business. And when a massive celebrity's legal team, backed by billion-dollar brand partnerships and deep ties to the entertainment industry, sends a takedown request or even a soft warning, YouTube often doesn't wait for a judge's opinion. They act fast. That's the thing about celebrity legal pressure. It doesn't have to be a lawsuit. It just has to look serious. A letter with enough legal jargon, an email from someone with Esker in their signature, a polite but firm message that says, "We trust you'll do the right thing." That's all it takes, because for most creators, a legal battle isn't even on the table. They don't have lawyers, they don't have time, they have a channel they're trying to protect, and they know one wrong move could jeopardize everything. Maybe Katy Perry's team didn't file a formal takedown, maybe they didn't even have to. A single well-worded email could have made the creator delete the video themselves, out of fear, out of exhaustion, or just out of a desire to stay under the radar. And here's the part that really matters. Even if it was legal to keep the video up, the culture around it shifted the moment it got deleted. Because once a meme vanishes without explanation, and the silence from both sides stretches into days, the public doesn't care about legal nuance. They care about what it feels like, and this felt like intimidation, like someone got spooked, and someone else wanted them to be. While everyone online debated what happened to the video, the person at the center of it all, the creator, went completely dark, and that silence was almost as loud as the meme itself. Just days earlier, they had been actively replying to comments, reposting fan edits, and riding the viral wave like any content creator would. Then suddenly, nothing. No follow-up upload, no community post, no "I got a strike" update. The channel stayed online, but it went totally quiet, like someone flipped a switch. And in that kind of vacuum, speculation breeds fast. Some fans claim to have seen a since-deleted tweet from the creator that hinted, "When people with better lawyers start calling, you listen." Others said they briefly spotted an Instagram story, just a black screen with the word "complicated" and a zipped mouth emoji. But with no verified posts and no official statements, the internet filled in the blanks on its own. Was the creator threatened? Bought out? Did they panic? Or were they simply trying to avoid the wrath of a pop star's legal team? The uncertainty only added fuel to the fire. The idea that someone, possibly just an independent content creator, had been overwhelmed, silenced, or scared into submission by a corporate machine made the story even more compelling. It wasn't just about Katy Perry anymore. It was about what happens when the power imbalance between celebrities and everyday internet users becomes painfully obvious. Some believed the creator had been hit with a cease and desist letter. Not a lawsuit, just enough pressure to make their life difficult. Others thought they might have deleted it themselves out of fear, realizing they'd unintentionally gone from niche humor to the center of a cultural firestorm. A few even theorized they were paid off under the table to disappear quietly. No one had proof, but online, proof isn't always required. Just the right amount of mystery, silence, and timing. And that's what made the disappearance so tense. If the creator had come forward with a video titled, "Why I Took Down the Meme," it might have all blown over. But with no explanation, no context, and no closure, it felt like something more serious was happening behind the scenes. Something that no one wanted to talk about out loud. At its core, this controversy isn't just about a meme, a takedown, or even Katy Perry herself. It's about control, and how fragile that control becomes in today's chaotic digital culture. For decades, celebrities could manage their public image through carefully orchestrated interviews, magazine spreads, and press releases. But that model doesn't work anymore. Not in a world where a bedroom creator can remix your brand into a joke, and it gets 10 million views before your PR team even notices. Katy's camp, like many legacy celebrity teams, still seems to be operating under an old Hollywood rulebook, one that assumes silence equals power, and that image can be micromanaged into perfection. But the internet doesn't reward perfection. It rewards authenticity, even messy, flawed, chaotic authenticity. And when you try to smother that with sterile branding and behind-the-scenes pressure, you don't look composed, you look paranoid. That's the real reason this meme hurt. It didn't expose a scandal or uncover some dark truth. It simply highlighted the gap between what Katy Perry wanted the world to see and what the public actually saw. It reframed her from a pop icon to a try-hard corporate mascot floating in space, speaking in pre-cleared talking points, and worse, the video did it using her own words. There was no editing trickery, just context. And that's the kind of thing you can't spin. The moment Katy's team allegedly tried to bury the video, the narrative changed. The audience didn't see a celebrity being mocked. They saw a powerful team trying to silence mockery. And that's the fastest way to turn a joke into a symbol, because now it wasn't just funny, it was meaningful. It stood for everything fans feel about modern celebrity culture, that it's fake, overly curated, and deeply insecure. And when you try to shut down the one thing the internet refuses to let go of, authentic ridicule, you don't regain control. You lose it completely. As the meme spiraled into one of the internet's loudest viral moments, Katy Perry herself said absolutely nothing. No tweet, no vague Instagram caption, no interview hinting at her reaction. And that silence didn't feel classy or composed. It felt calculated. For a pop star who once thrived on quirky engagement and meme-friendly antics, her total absence from the conversation only raised more questions. And in today's culture, silence doesn't protect you. It defines you. When every other voice is weighing in, your refusal to acknowledge the moment starts to look like guilt. Fans weren't asking for a long explanation or a lawsuit breakdown. They just wanted to know if she could take a joke. But by saying nothing at all, Katy made it seem like she couldn't. And worse, like she was hiding behind her team while they tried to erase the joke before it spiraled further. The irony is, Katy used to get the internet. She leaned into chaos. During her early years, she joked, responded, laughed along with fans. But here, she disappeared the moment things got uncomfortable. That retreat turned what should have been a brief viral moment into a full-blown controversy. Because now, it wasn't just about the meme. It was about what that meme said and what her silence confirmed. As speculation grew, even PR professionals began dissecting her absence. Some called it a missed opportunity, others labeled it a textbook failure in crisis response. The general sentiment? Ignoring a viral hit that critiques your image doesn't neutralize the blow. It amplifies it. It tells the public you're rattled. It makes you look like you're afraid of being laughed at. And in 2025, the worst thing a public figure can be isn't hated, it's humorless. This controversy didn't just reveal a meme takedown, it revealed a pop star frozen in time, stuck in a version of fame that doesn't work anymore. Katy Perry, once known for her playful unpredictability and genuine connection with fans, now feels like a relic from an era where image could be controlled and the internet could be tamed. But the internet doesn't work that way now. It can't be choreographed. It doesn't care about branding. It cares about truth, even if that truth is messy, ironic, or dressed up as a meme. There was a moment when Katy Perry embodied internet. Her music videos were viral before that word even meant what it does now. Her sense of humor, her colorful chaos, her willingness to be goofy, it all worked. She was the moment, but that version of her is long gone. And what's replaced? It feels rigid, defensive, overly managed. A woman floating through space reciting vague mantras, trying to pass corporate theater off as enlightenment. Meanwhile, artists like Lady Gaga and Doja Cat have learned to lean into the absurd. Even Taylor Swift, once allergic to online criticism, has figured out how to stay self-aware. But Katy? She still seems to think image is everything. And that's exactly why this meme hit so hard. It didn't just mock a stunt. It mocked the illusion. The idea that you can sell reinvention without substance or spirituality without sincerity. And when the joke landed, when it resonated with millions of people online, her team didn't adapt. They tried to erase it, tried to go back to a time when celebrities could hit delete and rewrite the story. But you can't do that in 2025. You can't delete memes, you can't bury culture. And you definitely can't outmaneuver the internet. In trying to protect Katy Perry's image, her team may have done the opposite. They didn't just make her look fragile, they made her look outdated. Not because she went to space, but because she came back acting like it was still 2012. What started as a silly remix, just a joke stitched together from interviews and comment threads, turned into something much bigger. It exposed a truth about celebrity culture that's getting harder to ignore. You can't control the internet, and trying to only makes things worse. Katy Perry didn't lose control of her image because of a meme. She lost it because the meme felt true. And the reaction to it confirmed everything it was mocking. Whether her team actually issued legal threats or the creator deleted the video out of fear, the result is the same. The silence, the deletion, the lack of response, it all sent a message that beneath the glamour, beneath the branding, there's still a deep fear of being laughed at. But in a digital world that thrives on transparency, even jokes can hold more power than a press release. Because this wasn't just a takedown, it was a tipping point. A cultural moment where a carefully crafted pop image collided with meme culture and lost. And the message that stuck wasn't protect your brand. It was adapt or get left behind. So what do you think? Did Katy Perry's team actually pull the plug on the internet's favorite meme, or was it just a perfectly timed coincidence that made the whole thing look suspicious? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Because the next video, it might be even messier. See you in the next one.